What's going on, guys? We're back with another video. In this video we're going to teach you guys how to make perfect gear. Now, to begin with, get your purple gear up to level 7 and at least 30% before feeding in your blue gear. Also, with your blue gear, you want to max its level and max its traits. I didn't know this at the time, but thanks to you guys, I now know that this is very important because it gives you transfer blessings. Transfer blessings will allow you to guarantee an upgrade of a trait of your choice, which is very huge in this game early on and late in the game because, as you know, traits are kind of expensive, especially right now in the early game. Now, we're going to go ahead and start upgrading our cape. Now, as you see right here, I purchased a blue-purple extract. Right here, I'm showcasing that you can change your traits if you want to. The blue ones right here will be random. The other one you can select, and you have to use different materials for each one. I have actually the best one right now of skill damage resistance, so I will not be changing it. I just wanted to show that. Now right here we got our purple one. It has to match, it has to be the same exact type, so I have skill damage resistance. It says successful, so I'm getting excited, but it didn't upgrade. It's still tier 1, but it said it's successful. What happened? What happened right there is it actually failed, even though it says successful. What it successfully did was gave you an extra blessing, which will improve your chances on guaranteeing it the next time. So now, in order to get more, we have to go into the extracts, and we're going to go ahead and look for the blue ones, since those in theory should be cheaper. So that one was 350, so we're going to go ahead and try to find something a little cheaper than that. And right here, we're going to look through these, and this is actually a huge part where I completely messed up on, because you need to check every single one of these gears and try to find the cheapest one. And you can check the purple one right here and see if the purple one is cheaper than the blue one or a similar price. Always just buy the purple one. The reason being, the purple one will give you a 100% chance of a transfer trait, while the blue one will only give you a 10% chance. However, for your first 2 upgrades, as long as you did the blessing, it will be 100% chance. That's why we get that blessing. It'll save us some money on 2 upgrades. Now, as you see, we have 1,000 blessing right now, so we'll go ahead and select that blue piece. We'll use the blessing, and then we will enchant it to give us a guaranteed upgrade. As you see right there, it used 450 blessings, and it used our blue item as well, but we got our upgrade, so that's good. Now let's go ahead and do that again. Go into here and try to buy a cheap skill damage resistance rather than buying the expensive purple one in order to save some money. And again, you guys can grind these out in the overworld. It will just take a lot more time, obviously. Now we'll go ahead and use our blessing again since we have enough, and we'll go ahead and enchant it. And now we will be able to get another upgrade of skill damage resistance. Now we're at 3 out of 4, and I already had an extra one right here, so I'm going to just go ahead and feed this in. Luckily, that'll save me a ton of money right there, though I also could have just sold that myself, so at the end of the day, it's give and take. As you see, 495 right now if I would have sold that, so maybe it would have been better to sell it, but for you guys, I just wanted to go ahead and showcase how we can make some perfect gear. That way you guys can understand. Now, again, this was my very first time doing it. This video is just my experience with it, but I'll say right now, something that I learned while doing this was that since this blue is not guaranteed, as you see right here, I'm using my blessing. I have 100 blessings. Never do this. If it's not 100%, don't use the blessings. It's a huge waste. So I'm going to go ahead and enchant it right here, and it's a 30% chance. I was thinking, well, maybe I'll get to keep the blessings. No, if you use the blessings, they're gone, even if you fail. That 40 blessing that I have was just what I received for failing. So once I realized that, I go back to the auction house over here, and then we're going to go ahead and try to buy some more, because I'm trying, at this point, I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to try to save my 500 piece to try to save a little bit of money. But if you think about it, a 10% chance means that I should not be buying these blue pieces unless they're at least, what, 10% of the price of a purple. So if that purple was about 400 gold, then, or 400 lucent, then I should only be buying the blues if they're about 40 lucent. And they were way off of 40 lucent, so I was definitely making a mistake here, guys. So keep in mind, if the blue is not 10, if the blue is not way cheaper than the purple, if it's not 1/10 the price, then just buy the purple with the lucent and just save yourself a ton of pain and suffering, pretty much. Now, we got to figure out how are we going to add another trait onto here. Now, we're going to go ahead and do debuff duration and max health. So we're going to purchase a max health extract of the same type of armor that we are looking to put the piece on. Now, I believe it has to be the same type or at least the same tier. Let me know in the comments. Again, I'm still learning, but I believe it has to be the same exact type. Or at least, if it's not the same exact type, then it's definitely the same exact tier. But for my example, I assumed it's the same exact type. Again, I'm still learning right here, so I'm just showcasing my process of what I went through. And now we're throwing a blue piece in to try to upgrade. This right here, again, is not what you want to do. I wasted a ton of lucent, but again, I was trying to learn and show. I just want to showcase my mistakes so that way you guys don't make these same mistakes. Now, as you see right here, the max health is 388, and that's a guaranteed success at 388. I'm over here trying to find another max health. I'm going through all of the different cloaks looking for a max health piece. I see a debuff duration for 56. That's a pretty good price, because I also need debuff durations. Max health is a lot more rare. I believe it's only on like 1 or 2 pieces, and it's 290 right. And then I'm looking around and I'm trying to see I can find another debuff duration right there for 70. So again, remember, if I can find a debuff duration for 1/10 of the price of the guaranteed, then it's actually worth it. Right here, I'm just buying a ton. I should definitely not have done this. Again, do not do this unless it's 1/10 the price of the purple, or you're gonna be just basically gambling at that point. So I'm over here just buying a ton of these and wasting a ton of lucent, to be honest. But again, my error is something that I want to show to you guys so that way you guys do not do the same thing I'm doing right now. Now we're going to go ahead and purchase a bunch of debuff durations. I think I purchased about 10 right there, so mathematically we should be getting 1 upgrade. So we have a 10% chance per blue to get an upgrade. If we use our blessing, it will give us 16%. Every fail gives us another 8%. That gives us 40 blessing, and every 10 blessing gives you a 2% increase. So we're gonna need at least, what is that? 800, no, 800. We need at least 400 blessing to guarantee a upgrade, right? No, 45, sorry. We need 450 blessing to guarantee an upgrade. So how many fails is that? If you get 40 per fail, that's going to be 9 fails. So if you do 9 fails, your 10th one is guaranteed. So that's why I said if it adds up to being about 1/10 of the price, then it is worth it to gamble. But at the prices that these were at, it definitely really wasn't worth it to do the gamble. So definitely check the auction house, do the math, and then again, if it's 1/10 the price, buy the blues. If it's 1/2 the price, definitely just buy the purples, and because again, it's only a 10% chance. But remember, you have that blessing at the very beginning, which is why we fed in that fully leveled blue, and that will allow us to get a few guaranteed ones, which you always want to do on the most expensive enhancement. And right there, I was like, what the heck? I just fed 10 pieces in and got no levels? What the heck? What is going on? So I'm going to go ahead here and check through these things, and I'm going to buy another one. I'm just like, okay, well, I got enough blessing, So let's go ahead and upgrade this with our guarantee now. So now we are going to go ahead and add in another one. We're going to use the blessing since it's guaranteed now, because remember, 450 blessing guarantees the upgrade, which, if my math is not wrong, is... No, actually my math was definitely wrong. 450 blessing is 10, 11 and a half. So it's actually 12 fails. Sorry, my math was pretty terrible there. 12 fails guarantees you a free one. So again, it's kind of a gamble to use the blues. I guess if, like I said, if it's about 1/10, then I guess it's worth the gamble. But as you see, I used 10 and completely failed. So at this point, I'm realizing my mistake. Buying the blues and gambling with a 10% chance is not worth it unless those blues are insanely cheap. So at this point, this is when I realize just buy the purple and get that guaranteed 100% chance, unless you're super lucky with your gambling. So I'm going to go ahead and look through here, try to see if there's any more cheap debuff durations, try to see if there's any cheap health duration or health increases, and there's really not right now. We're still pretty early into the game, so all of this stuff is very rare still and not too common. Now, I'm going to go ahead and keep gambling at this point. I guess I still haven't learned my lesson yet. I'm trying to do this for the video. I'm trying to do this to teach you guys how to make some perfect gear. So I'm going to go ahead and try to get that 10%. Oh, I didn't actually use the blessing that first time. So I guess now I decide, okay, now I'm done gambling. Now I'll use the blessing. So at this point, I have an extra 70 blessing, which is completely pointless to me. At this point, I'm trying to read this thing and understand what the heck is going on. I don't understand why I just failed 10, 11 blues in a row, that it was a 10% chance. And at this point, I'm starting to think, okay, this was a mistake. I definitely messed up. I'm not going to post this video because this is kind of embarrassing, but I decide, you know what? I just want to show you guys what not to do. Hopefully I was able to explain what to do and you can see the difference. I was thinking once that blessing bar reached max, then it was going to level up, kind of like the gear levels up, but it's not. It's just a flat 10% chance every single time. It doesn't matter if you did 100 blues. If you got super unlucky, it would never upgrade and you'd have to use the guarantees for them. So with that in mind, it's your choice. At this point, I'm trying to understand how much blessing do I gain? And again, I realize later on that it's 40 blessing each, and that means it's about 12 failures per guarantee. And at this point, I look at the price of the purples and I see, yes, they're expensive at 400, but they're guaranteed. So at this point, I decide to say, okay, now I understand what's going on and I'm just going to go for the guarantees. I was thinking maybe I won't, but you know what? This video was supposed to be me upgrading a perfect piece of gear, so I have to do it just for you guys. Like I said, don't do it. I'm just showcasing some things so that way you guys know what to do. I don't want to say I'm making a perfect piece of gear and then not make it, right? So now we're buying the last pieces that we need in order to max out our gear. And again, since this is the same tier of gear, it's all guaranteed to work. So now we'll go ahead and feed this right in. A guaranteed increase right there. And then we get another guaranteed increase right here. And now we just need 3 more max health. And look at how much more easier this is. I should have done this from the beginning, and it was really frustrating that I didn't. That's all I've got for you guys today. Hopefully you guys don't make the same mistake that I did and you learned a lot in this video.